Hey Sag, welcome to April. So Sagittarius, with all these planets moving into Aries, another fire sign, this is going to make a beautiful trine with you during this month of April. So we have the sun in the sign of Aries trining you, a positive aspect. And we now have Neptune, which just moved into the sign of Aries at the end of March. So you've got this beautiful flowing energy with the planet of visibility and validation, the sun, and the planet Neptune. And though the planet Neptune is often referred to as the planet of illusion and delusion, it's also referred to as the great healer and great creativity. So this is really great for you this month. Now, you do continue to have a square with the planets that are still in Pisces. Now, remember, this square has been going on for a while because there's been a lot of planets in Pisces and they were retrograding and then they came back into Pisces. So we have Venus and Mercury in the sign, back in the sign of Pisces again for most of the month. We also have Saturn finishing up its last month in the sign of Pisces. So once these move into Aries, it's going to form a trine for you. So there's going to be a lot of positive moving energy for you starting in April and especially in May. Now, Jupiter is still opposite you. So Jupiter is still hanging out in the sign of Gemini, and Jupiter is your ruling planet, Sagittarius, the planet of luck, blessings, and expansion. So it's across from you in an opposition in the sign of Gemini, where it's been since last May, and it's going to be there a few more months. So you're going to need to pay attention to what Jupiter is asking of you. It wants to make things big. Gemini is a sign of conversation, a sign of words, really, because it's a sign of communication. So there is a lot there, okay? Now, we have the moon in Sagittarius mid-month. The moon will move into Sagittarius on the 15th, Tuesday, April 15th. And it will show up there at 10:37 p.m. So these will be power days for you, Sagittarius, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th until 10:12 a.m. So you get a nice spell of positive energy going on. All right, Sagittarius, I picked a few theme cards for us because I'm a Sag too. Haven't looked at any of these yet. Here's your theme cards. Then we're going to go up into that zodiac wheel, and I have put out a card for each house of the zodiac. So we'll go through that. Kind of covers all the areas of our lives. So again, haven't looked at any of these. Let's jump in. So your theme card, we're starting off here with the 9 of Wands or 9 of Fire. There's the Ram, and he's climbed really high to get there. And so it's taken a lot. And there's a lot of it's like validation or just feeling good about yourself of what you've pulled off. Okay. So 9 of Wands, although 9 of Wands can be a card of overstimulation or just having a lot going on. 9 is our number this year. 2025 equals 9. Now, your next card that shows up is the Adelita of Water, Acotilo. And this is from the Herb Crafters Tarot. So Adelita, I believe, is the page. But let's use our little cheat book here that came with it. And I often say, I don't always use the books that come with the tarot decks, but this one has so much information in it because I don't know all the plants, and it's really fun to learn all the plants. So this is one of the decks that we keep in stock in Kent, Connecticut, and my daughter's working on the website right now, so we're going to have some of these up on the site soon. So Adelita is actually the Knight. So this would be the Knight of Cups. And it says, protect your heartwood, but let your love blossom. Strong boundaries create healthy relationships. Give your whole heart to your cause. Okay, so I guess Acotilo is a cactus, and it has pink blossoms. And it says the Adelita of Water is committed to nurturing her spirit. She knows that time alone allows for the discovery of her innermost desires. Okay, well, I like time alone. How about you, Sag? So there's time here, nourishing, refreshing, because it looks like there's a lot going on. Now, you also have the star card here. And I'm really happy to see this because this is a card of your hopes and dreams. This is a card of like networking because it rules large groups of people and it rules friends. And it's pouring out what no longer works. She's the water bearer and making space for your dreams. So I'm very thrilled to see that. Okay, now this is your Beltane Oracle, and because we have Beltane this month, I have the Season of the Witch Beltane Oracle here. It's actually not this month, it's May 1st, but I'm including the first couple days of May in this report. So Beltane is the fertility pagan celebration of spring, and we have the Oracle card number 28, and it says, spirits of other worlds, tell me tales of the unknown, tell me tales of the forbidden. Wow. So some good storylines coming out here. Stories being told. Remember I was saying that Jupiter is in Gemini, lots of words. So let's take these cards. I'm going to move them towards the back. So our theme cards are on the table still, but let's see as we go into the zodiac wheel what else you need to know this month, Sagittarius. So we start off in the first house, which is Aries house, the house of I am. It has a lot to do with your image or your branding or how you see yourself or how the world sees you. And we start off with the Devil card. All right, so we're starting off pretty strong here with the Devil card. It's the Bobcat card here from the animal totem, animal spirit. I forget what the name of the deck is. It's a great deck, though. And so you're starting off strong. You're being seen in pretty powerful there. Okay, breaking the chains that bind you. The Devil card is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is all about responsibility and hardship. And that brings long-term success, okay? So a lot of times the Devil card has business themes to it. So you're being seen as a powerhouse, okay? Now, card number 2, house number 2, Taurus's house. The house, some people call it the house of money. It's really the house of value, okay? It's a Venus-ruled house. And you have the Witch card. And this is the Magician from the Green Witch Tarot. So you're starting off with 2 really powerful major arcanas. This one, I think of the Witch as Scorpio. And so there's a deep knowing, deep feeling, trusting feeling and intuition to drive you forward. Some people call this a Gemini card because it can be associated with being the trickster also. So she's cooking up her blend. She's creating her magic. She is unstoppable. Now, let's see here. We're in Gemini's house, the house of communication, the house of thinking and how you learn, has themes of your environment around you, the people around you. And another major arcana, Judgment. So this is a Scorpio card. This is about laying something old to rest. Okay, so this is like usually the process of death with the and the afterlife, being called to the afterlife. Okay, so this is card number 2. It is a relationship number 2, and we see that there's a release of something here. All right, now card number 4. This is in your 4th house. This is Cancer's house ruled by the moon. This is a watery house of intuition, and we call it a psychic house. And from the Osho Zen Tarot, which I really use as an oracle card, I find it a little confusing, but I love the deck. We have the Schizophrenia card. Oh, what a joy. Card number 2, Schizophrenia. And I read about this card before, and it talks about that this is the crazy part, trying to hold on. And so just letting go of control, okay, and allowing, and it's like in the book, it says something about like if she lets go, she can find out that she can fly. All right. So It kind of feels like you might be suffering some loss of some sort there at the bottom. I don't know. I know personally I'm a Sag and I'm dealing with like pets, losing some pets. And that's kind of what I was feeling as I looked at that Judgment card. And also, like, we can't hold on. Like, the fourth house is like the mother energy. And so it'll make us crazy if we try to hold on and control our kids, right? I'm speaking from experience with a 25 and a 22-year-old. We have to raise them and let them fly. And so we can't make ourselves crazy trying to hold everything together. And so it's interesting that it's card number 2 also next to the Judgment card, which is card number 20, which we call a 2. So right there at the bottom of the chart, which is a very important part. So kind of letting go, releasing, and allowing things to move forward in their natural order. Now we go into the 5th house, which is Leo's house of fun. I sure hope there's some fun here. I need some fun. Oh my, is there ever. The Wild Hunt. This is the Tower. So you got a lot of major arcanas here. I don't know if the card number 2 is considered a schizophrenia as a major, but it's strong enough on its own. So you got the Tower card showing up. So it's not going to be boring. Let's put it like that. It's not going to be dull. This is an Aquarian card ruled by the planet Uranus, and things are hitting. Okay. So let's envision them hitting in a really great way, right? Like I'm waiting on some business deals that I have proposals in for, right? And I'm hoping that this Tower card, when I see a card like this, I'm like, all right, it's going to hit. And I'm going to get what I'm looking for, okay? And this is in the house of creativity and joy, so I don't take this as a negative. Now, we move into Virgo's house of health, wellness. On the sheet here, it says work, routines, health, okay? It's this house of service. And yet another major, my goodness. Strength card shows up. This is a Leo card. So cute how she's tending to everyone. Okay, so this is a power card. This is ruled by Leo, which is ruled by the sun. So there's a lot of joy. She looks like she's in service, right? This is the house of service. She's taking care of them. Maybe she's a vet, right? So, yeah, I keep getting the animal vet themes from this. And I see power here. See if we get any more major arcanas here. We're going into Libra's house, the house of relationships and legal matters. And yep. Wow, Sag, all major arcanas. I mean, this is going to be a big month for you. When I see the major arcanas come out, I think that those are the life lessons that need to be learned. This is where the power is. This isn't just another month of like everyday life. There's a lot of important things going on. The High Priestess shows up in your house of relationships, and she's card number 2. A relationship number. Now she is some kind of poisonous spider there. So she's intense. She doesn't necessarily have to hurt you, right? But she can if she needs to. And so the High Priestess teaches us to quiet down and listen to our inner voice. She's related to the sign Cancer, ruled by the moon. Okay. So she has an intuitive knowing. We go into Scorpio's house, and this is the house of sex, death, and taxes. I think of it as death and rebirth, transformation, power, other people's money, combined monies, inheritances. This is a psychic water house of Scorpio. And another major arcana, the star card, Cottonwood. And so your hopes and dreams are showing up. This is the second time that you've gotten this star card. It showed up in the cards we pushed to the back there. Cottonwood. And, you know, I have this like short story that I tell sometimes about, I call it the Cottonwood theory. And long and short of it is that there was a cottonwood tree in my yard years ago that I hated. It would blow cotton everywhere around my yard, and it was really annoying, and I didn't have the money at the time to cut the tree down, but I said to it one night, I looked at the tree, I said it in front of a friend too, I said, you know, someday I'm going to cut you down, and not today, but someday soon. And that night a storm rolled through, and it was one of those like little mini tornadoes, microbursts that, you know, sometimes touch down randomly. And it touched down on my road, and really very few people were affected. But My lawn furniture was thrown from my back of my yard to the front of my yard, yet my plants were still hanging on the front porch. Who knows? But that cottonwood tree came down. And I woke up the next morning and there was cotton everywhere. There was my kids were little. They went outside and they picked the cotton and they stuffed pillows and sewed pillows with it. So I use that story as an example of a power of intention. Now, I don't really know if I had anything to do with that, but I manifested what I wanted. And so there you are. You've got all this manifestation energy here. You've got the devil card showing up where there's power, where you're talking about who's in control. You got the witch card here, who's the alchemist who can make things happen. We see power here with judgment, that there's been a release of something, all these major arcanas. And then in your 8th house, one of the most powerful houses of the zodiac, you have the star card, Cottonwood. So you are on a roll here, Sag. Let's see what's going on in your house, the 9th house, your property. Now, we call this the house of the higher mind. It's the house of foreign travel. It's kind of like the philosophy house, questioning everything. And it's a house of teaching and publishing. And okay, it's not a major arcana, but it is the 9 of Wands again. And it's the second time it showed up because it was the first card we pulled back there in the back with the ram. And so look at him. He's got a lot going on and he looks a little frightened. But there is a lot of irons in the fire. Now we're in the 10th house, which is Capricorn's house. And this is the house of your career and your reputation and fame and awards. I think of it as your long-term standing in the world. Capricorn rules things like antiques. And I always think of like our last names when I think of antiques. Okay, so here we are with the 8 of fire. 8 of Wands, it's the ginger card. And so there's it's sizzling. There's all this spice going on. Ginger is so revitalizing. And so it's sizzling. All right. So you're being seen. You're being valued. Ginger's valued for its properties. And it's the 8 of Wands. This is traditionally, I was told this was called the honeymoon card. So there may be some travel for work involved, but it's definitely not boring. Now we're in Aquarius's house of large groups of people and friends and networking and your hopes and your dreams. And the Ace of Pentacles shows up. This is the dung beetle. So he's very resourceful, gathering, and it's an ace. There's something new and something of value. So this is a good thing here. Now we move into the 12th house, Pisces house. They call it the house of the hidden. It's also the house of secrets. They call it the house of the undoing because you can undo old karma, right? You can also do yourself in if you're not healthy with 12th house activity because it's retreating back. It's very emotionally sensitive. It's a psychic house. And so we want to envision ourselves retreating, resting, breaking old karma, healing really because it's ruled by Neptune. Here's a 7 of Wands. And so it looks like she's picked one of those wands out of the options and she's moving forward. Okay. So maybe you're making some decisions. Maybe you've taken some time out, reflected, and are making some decisions forward. I am loving this reading. Okay. So the card in the middle is the card about how you're going to feel for the overall month. So let's see. And it's the Queen of Chalices or the Queen of Cups. Okay, I'm happy to feel like her. She's at the ocean, which I would love to be at. She's the queen of emotions. She's kind of got her own little podium there. She is the queen of creativity, and she is just a lovely, lovely water queen. So, Sagittarius, it looks like you're going to have a great month. You're in a power position as a queen there. Let's roll you some dice. And we rolled Jupiter, your ruling planet, in the sign of Leo, in the 12th house, which is Pisces house. Okay, so Jupiter, luck, blessings, expansion, your own ruling planet showing up. Remember, Jupiter's across from you in the zodiac right now, so it's asking for your attention. In the sign of Leo, Leo wants to be seen and validated and has a lot of heart heart-based energy to give. Okay, so it's visible. And then 12th house, which is hidden, right? So to me, with Jupiter and Gemini, this is a great time to write. This is a great time to tap into your heart, into your creativity, to your joy, and take some time out to do that. Okay, let me throw a few charms on here. It's so fun to just toss these around. Let's see. All right, I'm going to take this mic out here so we can get a little closer. Okay, I see, let's see, is this a blank? That's an A. And so that's an F. Okay, see the word far. I see the word liar. I see give, life, give life. Lag, like jet lag. This is a blank here, so we can make more out of it. There's a little note card here on the witch. Look at the spider showed up. The one that was on the high priestess also showed up here in the 12th house. So the spider was in the 7th house, and then we see it in the 12th house. Got a little quartz crystal up here on the dung beetle with a little scooter. And here in the 1st house, you have a symbol for what I think is Mary. I see the word, I can make the word farm life. What else? Okay. I see the word Fife, which is a restaurant in our town. So maybe that's there. I see the word full. Now I got a circle here in the middle. I've got the number 52. I've got the word how over here in the 6th house. I see the word late. Got the word Capricorn here. Okay, so you can see if those make any sense to you. Now let me give you a few more dates. I already gave you Sagittarius dates, and you did roll Jupiter, which is Sagittarius. Let me give you some more power days based on those dice. So you rolled Leo. The moon moves into Leo on Sunday the 6th at 12:34 a.m. It stays there the 7th and the 8th until 9:40 a.m. You also rolled Pisces, and the moon moves into Pisces on Wednesday the 23rd at 1:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It stays there Thursday the 24th, Friday the 25th until 3:24 a.m. These are power times for you, Sagittarius. Thanks so much for joining me.